Hello, this is Brad. I am with Mid-Continent Public Library, and welcome to our Resume Builder series. Today, we will be looking at the Resume Builder available within the LearningExpress Library resource. This is a great way to put together a formatted resume in a matter of minutes. LearningExpress has helpful tips to help make sure that you have a useful resume. Let's go ahead and get started. I am first going to navigate to a web browser. Today I will be using Microsoft Edge, but I could also use Chrome or Firefox. And then I'm going to navigate to our website, that is mymcpl.org. And now that I am on the website page, I will click the Research and Learning tab near the top. And from here, I will click Browse Subjects. And I'm going to scroll down to the Careers and Education card right here. And these are alphabetically listed, so we will find LearningExpress Library in the L's right there. I am going to click More Info. This tells us all about LearningExpress and the resources they have for high school students, college students, high school equivalencies, and all sorts of other great information. Today we're going to focus on the Resume Builder, and so I will click Go to LearningExpress Library. Before I can go to the resource, it will ask me to enter my library card number, so make sure you have that handy. Just enter it here and press Submit. And now we are on the LearningExpress Library homepage. I'm going to scroll down and click on the Resume and Cover Letters Builder. And then that will open up these two links down here. And we are going to click Build a Great Resume. And then we will select the first option, Build a Great Resume. Now we will need to click the Sign In or Register to Begin button. If this is your first time on LearningExpress Library, you will need to register by clicking the Register button. This will allow us to access our resumes that we have made. On this form page, the institution will say Mid-Continent Public Library, and then you will enter some information down here, including your first name and last name, email. It will prompt you to make a password, and then you can click Register. And now we are ready to click the Launch Career tool to begin building our resume. And we will select this first option. I want to create a resume. If we already had a resume, we could upload it and edit it. I'm going to name my resume and give it a description if I want to. And then I will select a job category. This will give LearningExpress information so it can make recommendations to make a resume that is tailored to your specific job industry. And then there's a question for job experience. And I will answer the work situation question here, and then click Start Building My Resume. The first part of our resume that we will be putting together is the header. We'll enter our name and our address and contact information like our email and phone number. This way, anyone reviewing our resume can get in contact with us if they are interested. I will click the Save button. There we see our header that we just created. And before we go any further, I want to show you this Browse Sample Resumes section. If we need some help with building our resume, we can go here. And we can see, based upon that job category and our experience level, it gives us some sample resumes that we could look at. Here's one for a painting foreman. It just shows us how they would potentially recommend formatting a resume given this job industry. There was also a keywords list. This just gives you some good words you can use when you are creating your resume to best illustrate the tasks and responsibilities that you have had in your work experience. I am going to go back to our resume by clicking the Build or Edit Resume button. We've already entered our header information, so I will click Save, and then I will click this arrow to continue on to the next section, which is the headline section. Now, I don't have to put anything in here if I don't want to, so I'm going to move on to highlights of qualification. And if I want to know more information about this section, I can click right here. It can give me some ideas of information I might want to include in this section. And then using bullets is a good idea. It keeps your resume nice and concise and readable. So I'm going to use bullets and then put some highlights of my qualifications. There we see our header and our highlights of qualifications. The next section is experience. So I will put any job title that I have had, the employer I worked for, the start date is when I started working for them, and if I no longer worked for them, I would enter an end date as well. And then down here, I'm going to use a bulleted list to discuss the tasks that I did while I was in that role. I could use those keywords that I saw earlier. And if I wanted to, I could put job accomplishments down here. If I had more experience, I would click Add Another Position. I will add that job title and the name of that employer, start date, and if I still worked with this current organization, I could click the Present button. And I am again going to enter a bulleted list of my job duties and then save that. I could enter more positions if I wanted to, but I'm going to close. Now we see our resume coming together with our header and our experience there. We are ready to go on to the next section, which is education. Here I could enter any degrees that I have earned and the school that I attended, and then my graduation date. I can enter more school if I want to by clicking the Add Another School button. Maybe I want to add my high school education as well. And let's move on to some other sections. Now we have the skills section. I could list out some relevant skills. Next we have licenses and certifications, if any of those were applicable. Any honors and awards. You don't have to enter any information into a section if you don't have it. They just give you a lot of different categories. Publications and presentations, any professional associations I am a part of. Here's just a general information section, an endorsements area, and I can even add my own section if I want to. And let's go ahead and see how our resume is looking. We can do that by clicking the Preview Resume button at the top. And here we see our resume. We have the header, our education, experience, skills, and awards. And if I want to go ahead and download this, I will click the Download button right here. And I can choose between a couple different formats. If I don't think I'm going to need to edit this resume anymore, I could download it as a PDF. If I wanted the option to modify it later, I could click the Word format. This would allow me to open it in Microsoft Word and edit it. For this instance, I'm going to download as a PDF because I think this is good to go. And that will download the resume that we just made. I could also print out a copy of the resume from here using this print button. And I also have options to copy this resume or email it to myself. And all resumes I make will be saved in my saved resumes area. That is why we made this account, so we could access any resume we had created. And if I needed to keep editing my resume, I could click the Build or Edit Resume button right there. And this is the resume builder from LearningExpress. It's a nice resume builder because it has those helpful hints and gives you a nice basic formatted resume. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to follow our MCPL 360 Facebook page. We premiere new videos every Wednesday and Friday at 1 p.m. And if you missed the premiere on Facebook, you can watch all of our videos on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our MCPL Mo YouTube channel. This has been Brad. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day.